team basically picks itself today. We have a couple of suspensions. That's our problem, of course. And really, that's about it. We're almost down to the bare bones ourselves.
So what will the Celtic team be?
Well, Douglas comes back into goal again, having been cup-tied on Wednesday. And you've got Mjallby, Vega, Boyd. Agathe, who also was cup-tied, comes into the side. 3 midfield players are Lambert, Thompson and Lennon. Petta starts the game as well too, and Larsson and Sutton.
It's incredible the way that Agathe in particular has come into the team. That's such a good job for you.
I think he's been fantastic this season, without a doubt. Better than anyone I could have ever expected. And he's taken to that position there. He works so hard. He's fantastically quick, and I couldn't have asked for any more from him. He's really been fantastic.
In any sense, will there be a carry-on of any vendettas or anything from Wednesday night?
Well, certainly not on our side. I know that for a fact. We're going here to try and play some disciplined football. It is important for us to keep discipline. No vendettas on our side whatsoever.
Thanks, Martin. All the best.
Thank you.
No, first we have to play, and then we can. Then after the game, I will tell you how I feel and how I think about it. But there is no reason to talk about now, because if we beat them, there's only 6 points. So everything is still open. And I still think we are still capable with the squad. We have to do something there, and the players believe that as well.
Will this be the day that Rangers' title challenge is effectively ended by their oldest rivals? Celtic go into this famous fixture 9 points ahead, and when you think that 9 points is all they've spilled in the Scottish Premier League season so far, stretching back 25 games. The facts and the figures tend to be on Celtic's side as well. More than 8 hours Celtic without conceding a goal. The last time they conceded an SPL goal was an own goal by Tom Boyd. That was 2 months ago. And these Rangers supporters will be mulling over in their heads to the thoughts that Celtic 11 months unbeaten at home in domestic football. 3 changes in the Celtic side from the team which beat Rangers on Wednesday. First choice goalkeeper Rob Douglas is back, and the white men return as well. Didier Agathe and Bobby Petta out. Jonathan Gould injured, Jackie McNamara, and suspended Stilian Petrov. And despite the fact there was an appearance from Belgian defender Jos Valharen in training yesterday, there was never any prospect that Valharen would feature in this match. Lennon and Lambert, key players in the engine room of midfield, ball winners and ball keepers, and Larsson and Sutton with 51 goals between them this season. We'll have a look at the Rangers side shortly as the teams line up in the tunnel. And Hugh Dallas, I think he will return for the match, but he's disappeared for the moment. Hugh Dallas will take charge of his 10th Old Firm fixture. So if you're looking for a strong referee and an experienced referee, then he is the man. And despite stories to the contrary, he has refereed an Old Firm match at Celtic Park since that infamous day 2 seasons ago when he was struck on the head by a coin. Those ugly scenes live long in the memory, but Hugh Dallas did referee a match between these two here on Boxing Day in '99 as well. So he has been back since that day. Outside, the Rangers supporters full of anticipation and full of hope that their side can rise to what this afternoon is the ultimate challenge for them. Barry Ferguson and Tom Boyd leading the sides out. Barry Ferguson with mixed memories of the Old Firm match this season. He scored, of course, in the 5-1 match at Ibrox back in November, but he was sent off when these sides met and Celtic won 6-2 back in August. A superb atmosphere inside Celtic Park for a match which always matters so much. We've seen the Celtic side. Let's have a look at the Rangers team. 2 changes from the CIS side that started in midweek. Claudio Reyna suspended. Tugay is on the bench. In come Fernando Ricksen and Kenny Miller. And there's a show of confidence from Dick Advocat in 20-year-old Robert Malcolm. He will feature again. the 20-year-old, at the back alongside Scott Wilson, with Bert Konterman very much the key figure in that back three. Dick Advocaat unpredictable. This is our shot at how Rangers are going to line up, but Dick Advocaat has certainly surprised us before, and it would be no great shock if he did so again. It's a huge afternoon for the Rangers manager, and his hands have been tied to a huge extent, of course, with only 13 senior players fit. Hughes prepares to get the action underway, and when you look through the players Rangers don't have available to them, like Amaruso and Moore and Vidmar, Van Bronckhorst, De Boer and Knowles, and they're facing up, of course, to Henrik Larsson. 5 goals already against Rangers this season, 14 in Celtic's last 7 games, 37 for the season, and 106 in 141 Celtic appearances. Fernando Ricksen was taken off after only 23 minutes of the 6-2 defeat earlier in the season. He has something to prove. Barry Ferguson, I spoke of already, leading the Rangers side into this match of huge significance. Title winners for the last 2 seasons. Can they claw their way back into this championship race? Celtic get the match started. The final Old Firm meeting before the SPL split. And Willie Miller alongside me already drinking in the atmosphere.
Yeah, it is quite a superb atmosphere out here. Fans are really looking forward to this one. I'm sure it's going to be a cracker.
Neil Lennon on the ball early on, key man for Celtic. And since signing from Leicester, he's slotted into the Celtic side as if he's been there for years. Early jostling between Lambert and Albertz. Rangers free kick and taken quickly. Up to Miller. Toriandre Flo shut down quickly by Boyd. Now Ricksen. George Albertz. Lining up the drive. And sliced well wide of target. He scored 7 Old Firm goals in his time, but he didn't look likely there to add to the tally.
No, but I think it's always worth testing the goalkeeper this early in the game. Robert Douglas just back, of course, and Albertz with that phenomenal left foot of his. It didn't quite happen for him on that occasion, but I think it's well worth the effort.
Short of match practice was Albertz when he came back into the Rangers side in midweek. Rangers will hope to get a little bit more out of him, although he did score the penalty. Rangers' only goal in that game. Johan Mjallby launched upfield towards a Swedish international colleague, Henrik Larsson. That's Konterman's header. McCann's challenge on Lennon, and Neil McCann involved again. Robert Malcolm. Faulted, of course, for Henrik Larsson's opening goal in the midweek match. £6 million worth of Neil Lennon, and the Celtic supporters reckon he's been worth every penny. Huge responsibility on the shoulders of Bert Konterman this afternoon in the absence of the likes of Moore and Amaruso, very much a senior partner at the back, and he has to take charge.
Yeah, I think it is a key role for Konterman, there's no doubts about that. Young players round about him, he's playing right in the heart of that back three, and he's got to take the responsibility. He's got to talk and organise and calm the youngsters down round about when they have to be calmed down, and lift them when they need lifted as well. So, you know, a huge role there for Konterman.
The long ball there, too long for Toriandre Flo, and safely in the hands of Robert Douglas. In Martin O'Neill's eyes, clearly the undisputed #1 for Celtic. Jonathan Gould back in goal in midweek, but he was ineligible, of course, Robert Douglas, and immediately restored to the goalkeeper's jersey here. Malcolm for Flo, it runs through for Kenny Miller.
So far pretty typical of a game that's so important for both teams. Hasn't really settled down, you know, players not taking any chances, just keeping it nice and simple, making sure that there's no errors made early in the game, just testing each other out. We've still got to see a pattern to this game.
Vega's free kick. Well judged by Wilson, but didn't get much of a clearance. And now Didier Agathe. First threat from him. In behind Wilson. Agathe's cutback takes a deflection on its way through and hammered away by Ricksen. On the end of it, McCann. Flo loses out to Vega. Ferguson's pass intended for Fernando Ricksen, but doing good work down the left-hand side for Celtic. Bobby Petta. That's a mistake by Boyd, and Robert Douglas gets there before Kenny Miller.
The first opportunity I felt going to Celtic there with Agathe getting to the byline, showing great pace to hit the byline. Good cross into the box. He'd be disappointed that there wasn't a Celtic player making a run towards the near post. Klos, I thought, made a bit of a meal of that. A little nervy start for him.
Konterman from Miller. Tom Boyd's header. Barry Ferguson stretching out. Thompson. Ferguson just getting himself back to his feet. Looks to have taken a knock in the face. Larsson. Played first time by Petta too quickly. But the free kick is given to the challenge of Konterman on the Sutton. Set piece opportunity for Celtic. Lennon and Thompson there. Vega making his presence felt in the box. Pressing Konterman. It's Sutton. Can't get the ball down for a shot at goal. Optimistic noises from the home supporters. Never a chance of a penalty being given there. Kenny Miller has overrun it.
Again, just going back to the free kick taken into the box there, Konterman v Vega. I thought Konterman, just held out of that one too much. Didn't think that was a penalty. First of all, I don't think in this sort of occasion that you can expect a decision to be given for that one. But that all came from, I thought, a rather weak challenge from Konterman and Vega. He's got to be much stronger in the box.
Roman Vega, of course, who arrived with a bang at Celtic. 2 goals in his debut. Much maligned by the Tottenham fans. They were happy to see the back of him, but hasn't put much of a foot wrong for Celtic so far. Lennon's touch for Thompson. Away from Malcolm, stopped by Konterman. That's a well-timed challenge. Lennon's pass to Mjallby. Mjallby couldn't get into Mark O'Neill's side initially, and now he's a first pick. Chris Sutton scored twice in his first taste of the Old Firm fixture. His header. Larsson after it. Konterman's clearance. McCann with Mjallby right at his back. Long angled ball from Konterman. It was a tough one to get on the end of. Sorry, Andre Flo. Agathe sets up Larsson. Scott Wilson still can't get hold of it. Larsson's layoff. Out wide with Petta. Petta takes on Ricksen. Cleared by Konterman, but straight at Lennon. Celtic with the chance to keep the pressure on. Petta did so much of the damage, of course, which led to Ricksen's early substitution in the 6-2 match. In from Sutton, just too high for Henrik Larsson. But it's a corner kick.
Henrik Larsson always a danger at the back post, of course. Excellent on the ground, but not too bad in the air as well. Johan Mjallby trying to find some room. In from Thompson.
It won't count. Ramon Vega headed the ball into the back of the net, but the whistle had already gone for an infringement.
And the referee making an instant decision there, Klos making no attempt to go for that ball. Don't think there was any doubt that it was a little bit of pushing in the box here.
Hughes was certainly close enough to decide he was right in the heart of the 6-yard box, and the cheers were muted. After Numan for Neil McCann, fouled by Lambert.
Yeah, I think Paul Lambert goes in a little bit late here. Fortunately, I don't think he does too much damage to Neil McCann there. McCann up very quickly indeed, so he doesn't look hurt.
Long ball from Wilson. Mjallby and Vega both went for it for Celtic. And it's the Swiss defender who comes away with the ball, and Tom Boyd's clearance. Straight to Konterman. Over to elaborate Konterman, and Rangers now in trouble. Bobby Petta with a chance to create. Konterman makes up for his error, and that's a wild one from Fernando Ricksen. Barry Ferguson protesting immediately to Hughes because he knows what's about to happen. It's the first yellow card of the match, and it's Ricksen. Which immediately, Willie, puts him on a tightrope.
It does. I thought it was a rather impetuous tackle. I didn't think there was any need for it at all. It always looked as though Larsson was getting to the ball first. He goes down rather heavily. Ricksen coming in late. I don't think he can have any complaints. He's not happy with the situation there, but referee Dallas, in my opinion, making the absolutely correct decision and clamping down on that challenge. Don't think there was any doubt that it deserved a yellow card.
Yeah, the foul was on Alan Thompson, but not much doubt about it, as Willie said. And Thompson with the free kick. It's a good delivery. Flicked away at the far post by Arthur Numan. Rangers will feel it's so important. They have to get their marking right at the set pieces. And they have to be so physically strong to stand up to what Celtic have to throw at them. And Rangers will now have to withstand another corner kick. Last touch off Arthur Numan. So Mjallby at the near post. Henrik Larsson almost on the goal line. Kenny Miller's header. Flicks it away from the danger area, but it's not out. And Petta's cross deflected off Ricksen. And another corner kick. The pressure is mounting. There's a wider view of the penalty box. It's man for man. Thompson's corner kick. Sutton got the header. And again, there's Mjallby. Henrik Larsson! Spectacular effort. And with Larsson, you're almost expecting him to score.
You do. I mean, that is a very difficult opportunity for Henrik Larsson, but he is such a class player that you wouldn't have been surprised if that ended up in the box. But once again, I feel Rangers not defending the cross particularly well. They look a little bit nervous at the heart of that defence, allowing Celtic to have that opportunity, albeit only a half chance.
Since he's been at Celtic, Henrik Larsson has been ripping up the record books, and another one which is under threat is Brian McClear's 15-year-old record for league goals. He scored 35, and Larsson is already on 31, as the free kick is given for Ferguson's nudge on Sutton. He survived worse than that, I think. Chris Sutton so keen to be part of this battle. Vega with the free kick. Scott Wilson got his head to it. Albertz. Sutton works it on to Petta. Flicked away by Numan. Rangers have to organise. Agathe's cross. Away by Konterman. Neil Lennon. Well wide. But some shaky signs in the Rangers' defence, Willie.
Yeah, they look very nervous. Big Advocate there, very pensive indeed. He knows that his back three so far have looked a little bit shaky. Cross balls coming into the box. The headers have been poor. They've not been clearing the ball at all. It's coming off the side of their head. They just look nervous. They're not positive in going and winning that ball. And I'm sure Big Advocate at this moment in time will be concerned about the way his team's playing.
Ferguson's challenge on Alan Thompson. No free kick. Thompson felt it, and Ferguson was quick to react to the response from the crowd, because they didn't fancy the challenge. But Hughes happy to let it go. Ferguson and Thompson, of course, both been sent off this season in the Old Firm match. Thompson's header. And again. Early ball from Petta. It's Chris Sutton. Ricksen had to play it. And the Celtic supporters, letting Fernando Ricksen know what they think of him. I don't think it's too complimentary.
I don't think so, but interesting to see Hughes just having a little word there, a little quiet word. Barry Ferguson just getting a little quiet word there from Hughes. He's had a couple of challenges there, just a little bit late, obviously trying to stamp his mark on the game, but I think referee Hughes just a little bit concerned.
"16 minutes gone, still no goals." Larsson's flick to Sutton. Henrik Larsson again, here's a chance, and Celtic will open the scoring, and it's Alan Thompson. Celtic picked a hole in the centre of the Rangers' defence, and it's Thompson who makes it 1-0.
We've spoken about it. They look very nervous at the heart of that defence again. Getting dragged all over the place. Huge gap. Larsson laying the ball in for Thompson. Good support from Thompson. Easy opportunity at the end of the day, but very concerning from a Rangers point of view. The amount of space that Celtic found through the heart of that defence. But Henrik Larsson going for a little touch in from Sutton. Lovely little roll pass to him, and super support from Thompson from midfield, and that was a reasonably easy opportunity for a man of this calibre.
Rangers in defensive disarray, and Alan Thompson's fourth goal of the season has Celtic in the driving seat. Just the start these Celtic supporters were looking for.
Yeah, the team's done well, I feel. I think in the first 15 minutes or so of this game, they've totally dominated the proceedings. Rangers looking very nervous, haven't really mounted any sort of a good play forward, looked very nervous at the back, and you're just feeling, before that goal came, that it was only a matter of time.
Torrey Andre Flo's header. Kenny Miller trying to get on the end of it. Jousting with Tom Boyd, and Fernando Ricksen's shot off Neil Lennon. And Rangers have a corner kick, their first of the match. Flipped off the leg of former Leicester midfielder Lennon. Rangers would love to make something of this. They've had little attacking play so far. Neil McCann's delivery. Speared in at that near post, and Chris Sutton taking the responsibility and knocking the ball behind for take two. Wilson and Konterman and Malcolm all up, alongside Miller and Ricksen and Flo and Albertz. And again, it's that man Sutton. It was a repeat from Neil McCann. He really does whip them in at that near post, and if a Rangers head gets a touch to it, they could be back on terms. McCann tries again. It's Albertz. He couldn't keep it down though. That was exactly what McCann was looking for, but a slighter touch, and that might have been in.
Yeah, I worked at the third attempt, but I felt that George Albertz was looking to try to get that one in target, when really, if you're whipping them into the near post like that, all you're really wanting to do is get a little touch on it, just to deflect it past the Celtic defenders that are in there and looking for support at the back post. So perhaps Albertz on that occasion taking the wrong option.
Larsson and Sutton combine, as they've done so well in their time together this season. What a moment that was for Alan Thompson, blasting the ball past Stefan Klos, and a chance that he really couldn't miss from that sort of range, 6 yards out. A chance to put Celtic in front. Scott Wilson with his work cut out for him this afternoon. It's a big day for Wilson and Malcolm and Konterman too. They always knew it was going to be, to try to cope with Larsson and Sutton, and it's those two again threatening. Konterman back to Klos. Stefan Klos has pulled off some brilliant saves in his time against Celtic, but he had little chance in stopping Thompson from point-blank range. And Petta turning on the style. Alan Thompson was looking for a free kick. He reckoned there was a late challenge there. Dallas indicating he should get back to his feet. Petta gets the better of Ricksen. Lambert driving into a hole. Laid off by Sutton, but Bobby Petta wouldn't get there in time. He started the match well as Petta, and he is a real threat. And again, Fernando Ricksen in this fixture is under real pressure.
He certainly is, and the fact that he's got the yellow card, of course, he's really going to have to watch what he does in terms of challenges. But Petta has been excellent in this first 20 minutes or so, looking to get forward at every occasion, and also working very hard off the ball. He's putting Ricksen under pressure, or any defender that comes out there under severe pressure, and winning the ball back early for Celtic.
Petta switching it from left to right with that crossfield pass to Didier Agathe. Those two made a fatal contribution this season in terms of Celtic's success. With Agathe down one side, Petta down the other, Larsson and Sutton through the middle. The opposition team is never quite sure where the greatest threat is coming from. Dutch international Konterman, less than convincing in his early times at Ibrox. He's looked a bit more like his old self recently. That's a foul by Boyd on Miller. Tom Boyd filling in for Jos Valhadam, who's injured, but not as badly injured as first feared. Harry Ferguson's free kick aimed at Torrey Andre Flo, runs through for Neil McCann. Surrounded by hooped shirts, one of them Didier Agathe. McCann does well to hold possession, but that's a loose pass infield. Agathe's pace got him to the ball before Arthur Numan. And a free kick is given. He was caught late.
Yeah, Arthur Numan coming in there a little bit late. A couple of late challenges there. Barry Ferguson, he's going to have to watch what he's doing again, in with a late challenge. Fortunately, I thought both challenges were late, but didn't take too much contact on the opponents. Referee Dallas right on the spot as well, I think, to assess the situation and just let it go without taking any action.
Vega's free kick, headed away by Scott Wilson. Thompson for Petta. Ricksen won it. Barry Ferguson took far too long, although his complaint might be that nobody of his teammates was telling him that he was about to be robbed of possession. Thompson to Lennon. Celtic running the show. And that's a foul by Wilson on Larsson. And he better calm himself down or he'll be joining Fernando Ricksen in the book. A tackle from the back on Larsson. That means a free kick. And that is calmly being explained to him now by Hugh Dallas.
Yeah, and I think rightly so. Wilson showing a bit of petulance there after he put the tackle in. I don't think there was any doubt that it was a challenge from behind, and an illegal challenge. Referee Dallas deciding that it was a free kick, and I think it was right.
Set piece chance for Celtic, in from Lennon, and Ramon Vega almost there, and great credit to Bert Konterman. He did exactly what he has to do, and that was get there first.
That's right, that's more like it. You know, if you've got a central defender in there, that's a difficult one to defend. Vega breathing down his neck, had to be quick, Konterman.
Lennon's cross again, and the header from Chris Sutton needed a touch. Ramon Vega was close to applying that touch, but he couldn't quite get there before it was grabbed by Stefan Klos. We've seen very little of Rangers as a creative force so far. They really are on the back foot. Celtic working hard at minimising their opportunities on the ball. And Rangers forced all the way back to their goalkeeper. Our next live match features Celtic again. That's at East End Park in less than a month's time. Dunfermline against Celtic. But for now, it's BBC Live at the Old Firm match. Celtic a goal up and almost 26 minutes gone. Rangers have a free kick. And they'll want to involve Robert Douglas in the action before too much longer. Torrey Andre Flo positioning himself just inside the box. Konterman and Malcolm are forward. Albertz trying a shot at goal, and it cannons back off the wall. Has it back now from Ricksen. Chested down by Flo, tried to nod it back to Konterman. Lennon was there. Put forward by Thompson, ahead of Larsson. Vega against Flo, won it well. Agathe trying to hold off Neil McCann. His pace and his power, Didier Agathe, and that's a hefty combination. Larsson playing an unplanned 1-2 off Fernando Ricksen, and Ricksen using his elbow there, and he could be in real trouble. Already booked, and Hugh Dallas over to keep a close eye as that little tussle progresses. Poor one from Numan. But at the second attempt, played it off Agathe, his throw. Konterman. Mjallby always likely to win an aerial tussle with Neil McCann. Willie, Fernando Ricksen obviously walking a dangerous line now.
Yeah, he is. Dallas, referee Dallas was right on the spot there. He gave him an evil stare, obviously indicating to Ricksen that you know, if there was any intent there against an opponent, that Dallas won't put up with anything like that in the future. I think he is walking a very, very tight line.
After Numan takes the ball away from Chris Sutton. Mjallby, Lennon, back to Douglas. Celtic with almost total control.
Yeah, total control. I think Rangers struggling badly, particularly in midfield. They've only got 2 players in midfield against Rangers, 3 of course.
Superb pass from Thompson. It's Petta. And the cross between Larsson and Sutton. That looked like a real opportunity to carve out a second goal. But Celtic back in possession again. Larsson to Agathe. Over Ricksen's head to Petta. Bobby Petta's cross, missed by Malcolm and Wilson. Cleared by Numan. A lot of indecision in the way Rangers are defending here. And playing against Larsson and Sutton, they're always likely to get punished. Here comes Henrik Larsson. Chris Sutton, shot blocked by Malcolm, corner kick.
Just a number of players in the Rangers back 5 really have to do some more. Henrik Larsson, of course, always a threat, and Sutton's strength too, but Ricksen not handling Petta well at all. I think Petta has by far got the better of him. Ricksen looking very nervous indeed, and Petta looking to get to the byline at every opportunity, and Rangers really have got to defend better.
Thompson's corner kick, Stefan Klos didn't get both hands to it, but whistle had gone for an infringement.
A little bit fortunate, I thought, Klos coming out for this one. Didn't seem to be too much contact there, perhaps a little arm up there from Vega onto the back of Klos, but I felt as though Klos wasn't really going to get much on that ball anyway.
You've got the benefit of the doubt there, I think, Stefan Klos. The way things are going, you would reckon it's only a matter of time before Celtic make it 2. Long ball from Vega. Sutton hot in pursuit, and Klos outside his area to clear. Lambert to Petta, and Paul Lambert immediately hearing away for the return. Ricksen's challenge. Still Alan Thompson's goal, separating these 2 sides in terms of the scoreline, but there's so much between them in terms of overall play. Petta's cross. Scott Wilson's header. Onto it, Neil Lennon. Alan Thompson into the feet of Henrik Larsson. Slipped as he tried to work that one back towards Thompson. Flow beaten by Mjallby, who's seen very little of the £12 million striker so far. Mjallby playing the ball to where he thought Didier Agathe should be. Sadly, he was standing alongside him at the time.
Yeah, just a little bit of misunderstanding, but from a Rangers point of view, I think they've got to ask more of Flow up front. I think Dick Advocaat will be trying to get that message on. I don't feel that they've got much option other than going the route 1, going from back to front, trying to hit Flow and getting a little bit of support. They're really having no joy at all through that midfield. Celtic totally dominating in there.
And there is another long ball from Konterman to Flow. Nodded down, but nodded down for Lambert. Plays a 1-2 off Sutton. Larsson against Wilson. Wilson wins. Albertz holding off the challenge of Chris Sutton. Konterman from McCann. Don't think that's really the ball that Neil McCann is wanting.
No, it's not. I'm sure he's wanted it to his feet, but he did exceptionally well there and winning the little flick on. But you know, even with Rangers playing three up front, they seem very detached. They're not working as a unit. McCann wins that ball, but he's got no support at all from the other two. But I would suggest if they're going to go route one and play it in there, then it really is flow that they've got to try and hit, and then get a reaction from the two frontmen, a little bit of support from midfield.
Larsson's flick, in goes Petta. Punched away by Stefan Klos, and grounded inside the penalty box is Petta. Looked as if Klos punched the ball and then the player.
Yeah, I don't think there was any malice here. It was a ball that Klos really had to go for. Petta just getting in there slightly before him, but I'm sure it came off of Klos' fist, and it was a fist that followed through and caught Petta. I really think that was an accidental clash.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything malicious about that at all from Stefan Klos, but I don't think that makes Bobby Petta feel any better at the moment.
No, I'm sure he's got a little bit of a headache down there just now. Took that one in the side of the face. He's up on his feet. He seemed to be okay. Of course, he'll have to go to the side of the pitch, but really it doesn't look as though that's going to be too necessary, and he should be able to resume pretty quickly.
This was certainly decisive goalkeeping, and it had to be from Klos. There was a real danger if Petta had got a little flick, but that was two. But
again, it comes from, I think, uncertain defending. You know, balls played in there, Rangers defenders should be going and winning them. Should be an easy part of the game. They seem a little bit apprehensive. They're not winning the headers. Celtic are getting little flick-ons, and then Rangers defence not reacting quick enough.
Sutton. Larsson's there. Corner kick. Agathe was enough of a threat to Arthur Numan. Forced the Rangers defender to knock the ball behind. And set pieces like this are always a threat to Rangers. When you see the likes of Vega and Mjallby joining Sutton and Larsson in the area. In from Thompson. That was Malcolm and Numan both went for it. That looked like a push on Barry Ferguson. Free kick given against Bobby Petta.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt there. Little push in the back there. Barry Ferguson, Petta giving him a push and causing the foul. Really a little bit unfortunate from a Celtic point of view, because Rangers under a lot of pressure, still not dealing with the cross ball particularly well, and that has always given Celtic the opportunity to keep the screw turned and keep the pressure on them.
There's a neat touch from Petta. And again tangling with Ricksen. It's an intriguing tussle between these two. Less than 8 minutes of the first half remaining. That's good covering from Ricksen after Malcolm was beaten. A towering header from Vega. But Larsson coming back from an offside position. If Celtic are to win here today, they will stretch their lead over Rangers to 12 points. With 12 games left. It's no title decider this, but it could have a huge bearing on where the championship ends up. Thompson's pass. Konterman, short with the pass for Klos. And good thinking from Paul Lambert. Needed to lift it a little bit higher, and if he'd done so, it could have been 2-0.
Yeah, it could have been a lovely through ball from Thompson. Konterman just a little bit short with the back pass, and Lambert smartly onto it. Just needed a little bit more air in that chip. He saw the opportunity, he saw Klos off his goal, he was going for goal, and he just didn't get enough elevation in it.
Good play from Ricksen. Konterman having a look at what's on. Strong defending from Mjallby. And there's Celtic on the move again with Lambert. Slowing the game down, Lambert. With Lennon and Lambert in his side, you're unlikely to give the ball away too much. Well, there looked to be a lot more man about the challenge than ball there for Konterman. Free kick given.
I mean, that shouldn't be allowed in a football park, to be perfectly honest with you. Different shape of ball you want to be playing with if you're going to put in a challenge like that. I think Konterman getting a little bit frustrated there. Absolutely no need to put in the tackle. Only 10 yards inside his own half. He should have been sitting off of Larsson. He knows Larsson's got good pace. And for Konterman, you're looking for experience. Didn't show his experience there.
You're not a poacher turned gamekeeper by any chance, are you?
Don't think I put too many challenges in like that. So I like to think I timed them a little bit better and perhaps used my intelligence more.
Malcolm up to Klos. Again, it's jittery defending from Rangers. Nothing much convincing about it. Albertz to Flo. Flow is something Rangers have had little of in this first match, in this first half I should say. There's little fluency about their performance, constantly on the back foot and creaking under pressure. Hopefully somebody's going to be checking through the videotapes to see if Willie Miller's claims are based on fact at all. Ferguson to Ricksen. Just over 4 minutes left in a Celtic-dominated first half. You'd be hard-pushed to say Celtic aren't on their way to the title when you view their superiority here. That's a foul on Ricksen by Petta. You get the feeling there's a strong element of tit for tat in what's going on here.
I think there's a little bit of animosity over on that far side, isn't there? Petta this time putting the late challenge in, and Ricksen, I don't think there's any doubt that he left his boot in a little bit there. You know, Ricksen going down, perhaps making the most of it, but the way these two players have been going at each other this afternoon and in previous games, and I think Ricksen's got every right to make the most of it.
Wilson's free kick finding the head of Flo. But yet again for Rangers the knockdown leads to nothing, and it's comfortable defending for Celtic. Hesitation from Henrik Larsson, and another infringement by Konterman, and this time action will be taken. He allowed Larsson to get on the wrong side here, will he?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's booked, I don't think he can have any complaints at all. It's a combination of the previous challenge in Larsson and this one. It was all down to his own making, really, allowing that ball to go past him, slipping a little bit and then getting tangled up with Larsson. Again, referee Dallas absolutely correct.
Thompson's free kick. Free kick is given to Rangers. The challenge from Scott Wilson. Not a decision which goes down too well with the home support.
Well, again, a correct one. Looked as though that there was quite a lot of body contact there in the box, and I think in these occasions the referee is liable to go with the defender.
A minute to be added, so 3 in all left in the first half. Vega struck in the face by the arm of Flo. I'm not too sure how much that was malicious. Flo, not renowned as a dirty player.
I thought it was accidental. I mean, you've got to use some arm movement to get a little bit of purchase when you're jumping for a ball, and I didn't think there was much in there. I don't see it too well there, but Dallas again was right in the spot. He had a word with Vega not to make too much of it, because I thought it was accidental. I didn't think it did too much damage to Vega, and the last thing you want for a knockout challenge is this game to get out of hand.
That seems like sensible refereeing from, almost said Willie Miller there, from Hugh Dallas. Ferguson's pass finds Albertz. Beyond flow, cleared by Vega. Chris Sutton's there first. And now Agathe. That's the furthest forward Tom Boyd's been. Playing as an auxiliary left winger at the moment, Tom Boyd. It's a red card for Ricksen. One foul too many as far as Hugh Dallas is concerned. Second yellow adds up to red. And Ricksen's troubled Rangers career gets no better.
And there was always signs that it was going to flare up with Ricksen. He's had so many challenges, late challenges, and he really can't complain. There is absolutely no need for him to go into that challenge out in the touchline. Tom Boyd taking it. Ricksen comes in late. Referee Dallas, yellow card, and he's off.
Thompson's free kick. Vega's there, and the whistle's gone. There was pushing going on. Rangers get some respite. Not much more than 30 seconds left of this first half, which goes from bad to worse for Rangers. A crazy challenge by Fernando Ricksen when you've already been yellow carded and had the finger wagged in your face for numerous other challenges as well. Dick Advocaat must be absolutely fuming with one of his signings of last summer, his fellow Dutchman Ricksen, who you would have to say has let his manager down badly here. And his teammates as well. That's half-time. Rangers 1 goal down. Alan Thompson scored. And now one man down as well, with Ricksen having been sent off. Celtic are running the show, dominating the proceedings. And it's difficult, Willie, to see any way back for Rangers.
Well, you'd have thought that perhaps getting in at half-time and reorganising 11 men, then they maybe had a chance in the second half. The fact that there's only one goal in it at half-time, but with that moment of madness from Ricksen, Dick Advocaat now is going to have to reshuffle the pack with only 10 men on the park. They've been well behind when it's been an even contest. They're a man down. You cannot see them doing anything in the second half. It's been a game totally dominated by Celtic, strong at the back, totally dominating in midfield, and up front Larsson and Sutton controlling things, really cutting Rangers apart. Rangers very nervous at the back. Their back three haven't performed well at all. They've never built anything up in midfield where they've only got two players, and up front Flo and his two teammates up front have been very disappointing. So at half time you've got to say that Celtic are well worthy of the lead. The only strange thing is that it is only by one goal.
And here is the goal which has made the difference so far. Larsson and Sutton involved in the build-up, and a very straightforward finish for Alan Thompson with 16 minutes gone. Stefan Klos beaten, and Rangers looking very much a beaten side. The faces of the Rangers players as they trooped up that tunnel, I think for me, told their own story. They look punch drunk because Celtic have taken charge from kick-off and never let go. Rangers in disarray, and a half-time trail by 1-0. Dick Advocaat will hope that his team like a challenge, because they certainly have one here. 1 goal down at half-time to Celtic. Outplayed. Celtic took charge of the midfield early on and never let go, and now comes the tactical reshuffle from Advocaat, not under the circumstances in which he would have wanted to have made it. He would have preferred to have done that with 11 on the pitch, but Tugay is on, and here's the crime count so far. 2 yellows for Ricksen, meaning that he's still in the dressing room. Konterman booked as well. He has to tread a weary path. And Bobby Petta, yellow carded for Celtic. The BBC Scotland live match. Celtic against Rangers. Alan Thompson with the only goal so far. And Rangers with a mountain to climb. Tugay's first touch. Andre Flo. Flo again. In from Malcolm. Tugay combines with Ferguson. Rangers have to have a go, but it's not easy. 10 against 11. Neil McCann trying to find room for the cutback. Albertz connected well with the volley, but couldn't quite keep it down.
No, he couldn't, but it was a fantastic strike again, just a little bit too high with the left foot. But that just goes to show that you're never out of the game when it's 1-0. Celtic only having that 1-goal advantage with someone like George Albertz about. Something special from outside the box, could get it back in level terms, even although Celtic have had the bulk of possession.
Paul Lambert won the header. Free kick for handball against Konterman, and Martin O'Neill now less than 45 minutes away from what would be a vital 3 points if Celtic retain the control they've had so far. Lennon's free kick off Sutton, hammered away by Scott Wilson. Possession back with Celtic. Petta away from Malcolm, and stretching out was George Albertz. He had to get that one absolutely right, otherwise that was heading behind his compatriot Stefan Klos.
Yeah, he certainly did. Not an easy situation to be in to defend properly. George Albertz going back towards his own goal, could quite easily have deflected that into the back of his own net, just managed to get a slight touch on it, deflected for the corner.
Alan Thompson's corner kick, punched away by Klos, and Barry Ferguson completes the clearance. Lovely change of direction from Petta, gets him away from Tugay, in for Vega, and Arthur Numan mopping up at the far post. Chris Sutton was endeavouring to get on the end of Vega's flick.
Yeah, it's a lovely lateral flick there for Petta, and a super cross into the box. Vega getting a little flick on it. Rangers defender just getting his head to it at the back post, but testing times once again so early in this second half for Rangers.
The pressure stays on. Thompson's corner kick, that's a good catch from Klos in a busy goalmouth. Tugay, Ferguson, McCann, little burst of pace, gets him away from Agathe. Andre Flo still has it. Albertz looking on the bright side for Rangers. That's a shot on target.
Oh, it is, and it's quite amazing, isn't it, to see Rangers play like this. Great pass through, Flo showing good pace there. You know, just eventually running out of room, but managing to lay it back for Albertz to have the strike.
The searing pace again of Agathe. That was just behind Larsson. And played out by Klos to Tugay. Agathe starting several yards behind Numan and outpacing him. The bodies scattered all over the pitch at the moment. Ramon Vega is one of them.
I think it's just a little bit of time for calm from the referee. A couple of sharp tackles coming in there. Flo a little bit late with the challenge, but I think in this occasion it just has to be calmed down. I think Dallas is doing the right thing, not making too much of it. Maybe Raymond Vega won't agree with me there. He looks as though he's in a little bit of pain, but the last thing you want is the game to get out of hand. You want to keep as many players on the park as possible. The fans have came here to watch a game of football that is balanced, and so far actually in the second half it is unbalanced, but it's as close as we've saw to a competition, because Rangers have started to play a little bit. I think with Tugay coming in to the midfield, it then allows Rangers to have 3v3 in there, an area where they were totally dominated in the first half. And I think in the second half they're looking much more comfortable, being able to pass the ball about and start creating something. So let's hope it continues in that vein for the sake of the game.
He's been grounded for several minutes now, Ramon Vega, but slowly getting back to his feet. And some instructions being passed on, not maybe directly to Bobby Petta, but through Bobby Petta. And Martin O'Neill will be looking at the scoreline and thinking, that's a fragile advantage. So the words were for Thompson, and a nod of the head tells Martin O'Neill the message has got through. But the Celtic manager will feel he wants another goal to squeeze Rangers out of this. That's Konterman. Lennon's header. Petta was first there, but it's well won by Tugay, who's been in good form for Rangers in recent weeks. Numan to McCann. Well read by Paul Lambert, anticipating what was coming from the Numan-McCann combination. Vega's okay again. Sutton on the header, and played off Larsson by Numan. A wall of sound around Celtic Park, and George Albertz kicked the ground as he played that pass, and more problems for Rangers. Albertz immediately indicated to the technical area that he's in trouble. Struck the ground as he played the pass, as he'd been carrying an ankle injury. And Rangers may have to make another change in force this time.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. George Albertz indicating right away. He just stubbed his toes. He went to play this ball. You can see it quite clearly there. Holds his knee. Looks as though it's some kind of a knee jolt injury that he's got. But right away the hand went up, indicating to the bench that it was in serious trouble. Time will tell whether the change will have to be made, but the Agathe, I think, getting prepared for that change. George Albertz just off screen, looks to be in serious trouble. I don't think
no chance, I don't think,
can take any further part in this game. So another huge blow for Big Agathe. Rangers, just when it looked as though although George Albertz is waving to the side, we're saying that he's coming off. Difficult to, it's not really coming out too well in the translation, Rob. He's limping over to the side. We'll just have to wait and see if that's the last kick of the ball that Albertz will make.
It looked as if the message might be, take your time with the substitution, because I may be able to make this, and that seems to be what's happening. There is a hope that Albertz can come back into the play, and that would be a big boost for Rangers. They need some good news, and Celtic will make a change. Johan Mjallby off, and a rare sighting in the Celtic first team of the John Barnes signed Olivier Tebily.
Yeah, it's quite a strange game, this one, isn't it? Just when you think Rangers are going to be forced to make the substitute, they don't, and Celtic make the change. Tebily coming on for Mjallby. I can only assume that Mjallby had some kind of an injury problem, and Matt O'Neill making the decision that he's not going to take the chance with him for the rest of the second half.
And the word is from the technical area that it's a recurrence of Johan Mjallby's groin trouble, which has led to him being withdrawn from the action. There was some thought he might have done an operation earlier in the season to sort it. Rangers getting forward with Tugay and Ferguson. Back from Malcolm. Tugay holds off Larsson. Does well to get the pass away to Ferguson. Numan to Flo. And quickly in to block the attempted clearance from Didier Agathe. There's the heavy strapping around the left ankle of George Albertz. He wants to soldier on, still not moving too freely, but Rangers with not too many options available to them on the bench. Agathe trying to force his way forward. Celtic have a free kick given against Bert Konterman, and remember, he has a yellow card against his name. Lennon with the free kick, played into the feet of Sutton. Lambert there to get it back. Vega. Numan, Albertz. McCann. Albertz again. You wonder how long George Albertz will be able to go on, because he's not moving freely, and one wonders what sort of chances he's taking on long-term trouble if he plays with that injury.
Yeah, I think it's a huge decision for him. It looked initially, when he made the pass, he definitely stubbed his toe into the ground, looked as though perhaps he had twisted his knee. It was in fact his ankle, and he really is hobbling about out there. You know, you just wonder how long he's going to manage to play in this game, and you're right, he has taken a huge chance with his career.
But still, this match delicately poised. 1-0 the scoreline. As long as it stays that way, Rangers have a chance of salvaging something from what has seemed at times like mission impossible. Long from Vega, covering in behind Konterman was Wilson. Here's Albertz. Talismanic figure at times for Rangers. Such has been his success in the big matches. Here he is again. Spreads the play with the pass to Numan. Now from McCann. In behind Tebily. Too strong with the cross. Flicked back by Flo. Ferguson. Torre Flo again. 1 against 2. Petta and Vega both there. And a handball decision goes against the former Chelsea striker.
No, it's been a real good second half for Rangers. They've been forced into making the changes. They're down to 10 men. They've went with the back four, changed that from the 3 they had in the first half, and they've thrown an extra man into the midfield area, an area where they were completely dominated in the first half, and now they're more than holding their own. I would suggest that in the second half, in fact, that area has belonged to Rangers since Tugay has stepped in there.
There also looks to be a new spirit about Rangers. They look to have had a little bit of belief restored, and that looked to be draining away from them in the first half as Celtic dominated in the midfield area. Ferguson and Tugay have combined well. Rangers will now, though, hope to spark some threat further forward. A deafening noise at times inside Celtic Park. Tom Boyd's clearance. Alan Thompson's header. Almost an hour played of this Old Firm fixture. Bobby Petta against 20-year-old Robert Malcolm. Chris Sutton works it back to Neil Lennon. Malcolm again under pressure. That's good play. That will do him a lot of good. Stood firm, and no way past for Petta. McCann. But that's well played by Agathe. He's threatening going forward, but he does a pretty solid job when he backtracks as well. Numan couldn't keep that in.
He'll be much happier, Dick Advocaat, watching his team performance in the second half, playing with an awful lot of spirit, much more confidence as well. They seem to be prepared to get the ball down and actually pass it through that midfield area, where they really have done particularly well in the second half.
Tom Boyd, there's talk of another year's contract in the pipeline for him. Chested down by Larsson for Lambert. Challenged by Wilson, but it breaks for Agathe. In for Paul Lambert, here's a chance. And that's a good challenge. A crucial one as well on Lambert by Wilson, just as Lambert was pulling the trigger.
Yeah, it was a well-weighted pass into the path of Lambert. Lambert making a break from the midfield area, but Wilson saw the danger, got himself out there. Excellent reading from the young centre-back, taking the responsibility and putting in a great challenge.
The longest serving player at the Rangers, in the Rangers first team squad, Scott Wilson. Thompson's corner kick. A header on target, but not a huge problem for Stefan Klos.
A good corner in, and you know, a decent header, but not nearly enough power on it to cause Klos any sort of a heartache.
Barry Ferguson's pass probing at the Celtic defence, finding flow, but he was outnumbered as much as anything. Neil McCann supplying some width to the attack, in behind Tebily, and a corner kick is forced. The encouraging spell for Rangers continues.
It is very encouraging, Neil McCann hugging that touchline. That's forcing Celtic to put one of their three central defenders out there. Tebily it is, it's marking him.
Albertz with the corner. Robert Douglas in trouble. Headed away by Agathe. And cleared this time by Tebily. A dreadful error by Robert Douglas. And he could well have been punished here.
It's now Celtic's turn to be a little bit nervous at the heart of that defence. Robert Douglas, on this occasion, making a real hash of that cross. He was not under any sort of pressure at all. It was a chance for Konterman to have the shot, and Celtic very fortunate to get away with that one.
Douglas got a touch to the shot, but it was all important. Agathe on the line, who saved Rangers. That is the end now for George Albertz. He's battled through the pain barrier for the last 5 or 10 minutes, but it's time for a change, and it's Alan Johnston who comes on as the replacement. Malcolm's cross. Time for Didier Agathe to get the ball under control and set off. He'll need the ball too. Thompson trying to squeeze that pass inside Malcolm for Petta. Again, the youngster did well. Johnston to McCann. Clever pass from McCann for Numan. An important header from Vega. Tugay didn't catch the volley. Ferguson spins round, finds some room. That's for Flo. He was onside, but it was a difficult one to get under control. But again, good vision from the Rangers midfield. Now turning some ideas into action. Tugay did well to keep possession of the ball there as he tangled with Larsson. Flo beaten by Vega, but a free kick given against Vega.
Yeah, just a little bit of use of the hand there from Vega, but Celtic under pressure now. Rangers piling it on, some excellent work from them, particularly down the left-hand side.
Ferguson's free kick. Tugay. And now it's Celtic's turn for some jittery defending. And Celtic, Rangers I should say, will be looking to make this pressure count. In from McCann, and better handling this time from Robert Douglas. He flapped at the last cross ball, but altogether more confident there.
Yeah, I think that will help his confidence. To be fair, on Douglas, he hasn't had anything to do basically in this game. He's only been called into action a couple of times. I think taking that cross will help his confidence. But Celtic looking a little bit nervy at the back. Rangers coming more and more into this game, even though they're a man down.
It has been a remarkable transformation in the Rangers' performance in the second half, and at times you have to count the players to make sure they are actually one down. Agathe against Numan. Fired in for Larsson, and that was good defending from Scott Wilson. Just the sort of position from which Larsson has scored so many times before, and I think Martin O'Neill really thought this was in.
Yeah, it looked as though it was just going to go into the near post. Great run into the near post from Larsson. Times his run so well. Agathe doing magnificently well, getting to the byline. Super cross in. Rangers breathe again.
Thompson's corner kick. There's Chris Sutton. Vega went for it, and Tommy Andre Flo nodded the ball away and was then caught by the late challenge from Vega. I think it was a genuine attempt to get on the end of the ball.
Yeah, I think it's recognised by the referee that it was a genuine. You can actually see Vega there having an attempt to just check out of that challenge. He's taken a nasty one himself there. That looks a real nasty knock to the side of his face, and he has to get a little bit of treatment at the touchline.
That looks as if it will need a couple of stitches later on in the day. Flo's header, Johnston. McCann trying to hold the ball up. Did well. Now looking for it back from Numan, but that's asking a lot. And the pass from Numan allowing Olivier Tebily to get across and cut out the immediate danger. Ramon Vegas had the running repairs carried out, and he's back on the pitch. Tebily, Larsson, instant control. Sutton loses out to Konterman, now Ferguson. The pass running away from Johnston. Still more than 20 minutes left. And Martin O'Neill will see what's happening in front of him as a real test of his team's character. having dominated the midfield area and run the show in the first half. 10-man Rangers now putting up stiff resistance. McCann showed too much of that to Tebily. But he's had a good last 10-15 minutes, Neil McCann, for Rangers, doing what he does best, and a threatening figure down the left-hand side.
Yeah, I feel that's a very important area for Rangers. Neil McCann, Arthur Numan, supporting him down the left-hand side. That's where they've been productive. He's a threat with his pace. He can create the crosses to put in for flow, and Rangers are looking for support from likes of Johnston getting forward from a midfield area.
That is Johnston. Back for Malcolm. All the way across for Numan. The 1-2 with McCann. Good challenge. He really is an absolute steal at £50,000 from Hibs, Agathe. And he sets up Henrik Larsson. And now Thompson! A chance to seal the points for Thompson. And he will hope that he doesn't regret this moment.
That was a real opportunity, was it, Celtic? Hitting on the break, a lovely pass in from Larsson. You just feel that Thompson has got to hit the target there. He just got under it a little bit. It was a real opportunity. Look, perhaps there was a little deflection onto it there from Klos, but an opportunity wasted.
Petta's cross, Konterman's header, flicked away by Ferguson. Onto it is Agathe. Powerfully struck. Blocked away by Klos. And an angry exchange between Numan and Klos following this stop from the goalkeeper. Arthur Numan was shaking his fist in the direction of Stefan Klos after he knocked that ball out. Numan obviously feeling that in palming the ball out the way, he was setting up a chance on the rebound for Celtic. Lambert's throw. Hooked away by Numan. Conditions around Celtic Park getting distinctly stormy. And this delivery from Alan Thompson is likely to be swirling all over the place. In from Thompson. Headed away by Malcolm. Back in from Lambert. That's Flo. Lambert again, good pass to Petta. Shot blocked by Konterman. Flo to Tugay. A chase from McCann, but it's skidded off the turf and into the arms of Robert Douglas. Larsson gets turned. Foul by Scott Wilson. He knew he was beaten.
Yeah, he did. There's no doubt there that was a foul, but the conditions really are deteriorating badly.
Petta's cross. Numan thought he had it, but it drifted away from him. It really is wild out there. And the combination of Numan and Malcolm let that run. Didier Agathe was in hot pursuit.
Been a good little spell for Celtic though. Rangers have dominated most of the second half, particularly in that midfield area, but going to the back four I think's helped them as well. The defenders seem much more comfortable in that formation. They're pushing it up nice and tight, and they're playing like a compact unit, but just in the last 5 minutes or so Celtic found their feet, managed to get some passes strung together, even though the conditions are absolutely dreadful, and coming more and more into the game.
Scott Wilson did well to recover there. having been nutmegged by Larsson. And that's Robert Malcolm being tested again. Pretty steep learning curve for the 20-year-old over the last 4 or 5 days, with an Old Firm Cup semi-final, followed by this vital league match between the deadly rivals. In from Thompson. Corner kick. Celtic into the last 15 minutes. And Hughes issuing a warning. A lot going on off the ball. Thompson's delivery. Aided by the strong winds and taken away from the penalty box. Free kick given against Agathe's challenge on McCann. Football to come from BBC Scotland, and it's Celtic at East End Park on the Sunday the 4th of March. So join us for that one, but don't go away, because you get the feeling there's more drama to come here. Petta to Larsson. Did well, Scott Wilson, to squeeze that down the line. Neil Lennon.
I think the players need an award for playing any sort of football in these conditions. It really has deteriorated into an awful rainstorm we've got just now. Some hail coming down as well, so full marks to these players that are still managing to produce good football.
In from Thompson to Larsson. Sutton's control let him down. Konterman cleared. Bobby Petta swerving inside, then outside. Back for Lennon. Petta grounded, so Lennon chases it himself. Still Neil Lennon. Almost in at the far post after that heroic run from Lennon. Rangers fighting to cling on to their title, which at the moment looks as if it's slipping away. Numan's cross, that was Vega. Bobby Petta off and running. Lambert to Thompson. And now Petta again. Celtic keeping the ball. Good challenge by Wilson.
Today's attendance here at Celtic Park, 59,486.
The official crowd not far short of 60,000. And as usual, the Old Firm match, unmissable viewing. Only one goal so far, but it could be a hugely significant goal for Celtic if If the scoreline stays this way, there will be 12 points between Celtic and Rangers in the title race. Numan to McCann. Tugay. Flo. And Flo was held back inside the penalty box. It seemed the ball may well have been running away from him there, but there looked to be some grappling going on in the penalty box. It'll be interesting to have another look at that.
Yeah, there certainly seemed to be some kind of a contact. Sutton on Flo. Flo looked as though the ball had broken for him kindly in front of him in the box. It looked as though Sutton had perhaps had his arms round about him. Referee Dallas wasn't too far away and decided not to give anything, but I'm with you, Rob. I would like to see that again.
We'll see that in a few seconds. The play rages on with Thompson. Let's have a look at that again. This was the moment that Torre Andre Flo was held back in the penalty box by Sutton.
Don't think there's any doubt about that at all. It was a kind break of the ball for Flo. It turns, it falls in front of him. You can see quite clearly that Sutton with his arms round Flo, and Rangers really did have a genuine claim for a penalty in that occasion.
McCann for Rangers. And I think Rangers' feeling of injustice, which wasn't really too evident at the time, there weren't huge protests about it, but I think that feeling of injustice will grow after the match when they see the pictures of a blatant tug from Sutton on Flo, the two former Chelsea strikers, and a penalty kick might well have been given, although in these sort of instances Hugh Dallas is obviously looking for support from his assistants as well.
I don't think Dallas had a particularly good view of it. Obviously Sutton is between himself and the ball, and really the challenge is coming on his blind spot, but I've no doubt that the stand-side linesman had a perfect view of that one, and that is where he should be coming into the game and aiding his referee.
So it might have been 1-1, but might have beens have never won anything in football, and it remains 1-0 Celtic. And it seems a long time ago that Alan Thompson blasted the ball past Stefan Klos. Larsson beaten by the combination of Tugay and Wilson. Seven and a half minutes of the regulation 90 remaining. Engrossing it's been as ever. And Tugay has been a strong contributor for Rangers in the second half. He's made a real difference, and you wonder what the outcome might have been had he started the match.
Yeah, you're quite right, Rob. I think that is a key area in any game, and certainly Rangers were not at the races in the first half. Agathe can't bring on Tugay in the second half, and all of a sudden they start dominating.
Didier Agathe setting off for the byline, and Arthur Numan all the way with him. That's good defending, because when it comes to sheer pace, not much doubt that Didier Agathe's got it.
It is, yeah. I mean, really, you've got to use your experience. Arthur Numan is an experienced player. Agathe is electric. He likes to go to the byline. 90% of the time, that's where he wants to hit. I think Numan just used his experience there, allowed the player to make the first move and anticipated it well and got there first.
Thompson's corner kick. Flo's header. Sutton underneath it. McCann losing the ball in a dangerous area, and then as he tried to atone for his error, fouled Bobby Petta.
Yeah, McCann's just got to check himself there. That is a very dangerous challenge. Fortunately, he made no contact with Petta. Referee absolutely correct to have a word in his ear, and that word would be to Neil McCann, just to calm things down.
Thompson's free kick failed to get beyond Barry Ferguson. Second chance for Alan Thompson, this time into the feet of Larsson, trying to spin away from Wilson. Now Petta. Out comes Klos. Looked as if he could have caught that, elected to punch. As the hail and the sleet and the snow, whatever it is, looks like a mixture of all three, pours down again. Konterman's boot up, advantage being played. Larsson to Sutton, and that's another foul by Konterman. And he must be sailing dangerously close.
I don't think you can afford too many more challenges like this. Rather rash one again, particularly in these conditions. Very difficult to keep your feet, but Sutton just getting a little touch past him to the right hand side. Konterman getting in very hard. As I said, I don't think he could afford to have too many more like that if he wants to stay in the pitch.
I don't know if you call that sensible refereeing or not, but you get the feeling Bert Konterman got the benefit of the doubt there. But Celtic have a free kick, and Alan Thompson stands over it. Henrik Larsson instead, and not too far away from the target.
I think it was too far. It was a curling effort. Far enough though. Klos really looked.
Spilled the ball, but no one there for Rangers. It was Neil McCann's challenge on the goalkeeper. He was well entitled to go for it.
McCann was pretty brave in going for that one. Douglas always looked favourite to get it, but Neil McCann shown how much this game means to him going into that rough challenge. Lovely cross in from Johnston. Nicely worked move from Rangers, but McCann there going in against this huge frame of Douglas and coming off the worst.
Only 2.5 minutes of regulation time remaining, but there will surely be a few minutes of stoppage time to be added. So there is still time for this match to take another twist. Tebily's clearance off the chest of Wilson. And Willie, the man of the match.
Yeah, there's quite a few candidates out there in the first half, mostly Celtic players in the second, Rangers players, but for me, man of the match is Bobby Petta. I think his control has been exceptional, showed some nice, lovely little flicks and touches, put in some very decent crosses and well, and I think just constantly has been a threat.
Lennon to Sutton. Rangers badly want possession back, and they have it with Johnston and now McCann. Up ahead of him only Flo. Rangers need more players forward. Arthur Numan now on the overlap. There's an angry exchange off the ball between Tebily and Flo, but Lennon has it back. Agathe to Larsson. Alan Thompson off in pursuit and tracked all the way by Tugay. There'll be some exhausted Rangers players in particular after this. One man down for the entire second half. And a foul coming against Flo. 2 minutes stoppage time to be added on top of the 30 seconds left. So 2.5 minutes for Rangers to try to rescue something out of this, otherwise Celtic will move 12 points clear. Lambert against Ferguson, Scotland teammates. Numan back to Klos. Celtic supporters looking for the final whistle already, but they'll need to wait a couple of minutes. Robert Malcolm stumbling under the challenge of Petta. Wilson to Konterman. The long ball for Flo. Tebily got there before McCann. The only goal scorer so far, Alan Thompson, and sends out a clear message there as he thumps the ball away. Not bother where it goes, as long as it goes.
Yeah, Celtic just really want to waste some time. They've got the lead. They're not really interested in scoring another goal. They just want to take the full 3 points, even though it is a slender lead, with Rangers still coming forward and still with the opportunity of levelling it.
Inside the last minute of the match, the second minute of stoppage time. Arthur Numan. An upward shot because it skidded off the turf, but it was straight at Robert Douglas. And there won't be too many more opportunities to score in this match. Ferguson's sliding challenge knocks the ball out of play, and Celtic, naturally enough, in no great hurry to take this throw. The celebrations are starting already. We've now played 2 minutes of added time. We're surely seconds away from the final whistle. And there it is. Martin O'Neill celebrates the polite handshake with Dick Advocaat. And surely Celtic have taken a giant stride, a decisive stride towards the league championship. Alan Thompson with the only goal of the game after 16 minutes. Maybe a touch of good fortune about it and the way it came around. Unsure defending from Rangers, punished by Thompson. And when Fernando Ricksen of Rangers was sent off before half-time, you felt that was that. Rangers reorganised and fought back in the second half and produced a performance which was in sharp contrast to the way they played in the first half. But what they lacked was the cutting edge, and it's Martin O'Neill's team which comes out on top. A handshake for the match officials. But the one nagging doubt that you have in your mind, Willie, is that Rangers might well and should well have had a penalty kick.
Yeah, you really can't write the script for these games, can you? Because Rangers absolutely not in this game in the first half. Celtic totally dominated it. Celtic get the lead. Rangers have a man sent off just before half-time. Rejig things, go to a back four and put 3 into midfield with Tugay coming on, and then start to dominate the game. Play extremely well with 10 men. Put an awful lot into it, perhaps. The cause has brought them together to produce that performance in the second half. But it was a super performance by Rangers in the second half. And with that penalty, there will be the lingering doubt that perhaps the stand-side linesman should have helped his referee a little bit more and perhaps given that spot kick. I'm sure Dick Advocaat will be looking at that after the game. He had a wry smile on his face at full time, and he'll be thinking that perhaps they were hard done by not to get that spot kick. I think over the piece, Celtic definitely dominated in the first half, streets ahead of Rangers, but the second half, to Rangers' credit, they came back. It was a far closer game with a lot of good performances on both sides, and a game played in a reasonably good spirit as well. I think most of the fans here this afternoon enjoyed it. I certainly did.
So Celtic stretch their long unbeaten home record, their long winning record at home in domestic football. You have to go back 11 months to find the last time they lost in domestic action, and they move 12 points ahead of Rangers in the title race. And it's now difficult, almost impossible to contemplate that Celtic can be stopped in their relentless relentless charge towards the title. A total transformation in the way Celtic perform these days under the management of Martin O'Neill, and it seems that Rangers and any thoughts they had of stopping Celtic have vanished on this dramatic Sunday afternoon at Celtic Park. Alan Thompson with the only goal of the game, and Rangers having Fernando Ricksen sent off. Never a particularly dirty match, but Ricksen was certainly guilty of far too many crazy challenges, and certainly once he'd been yellow carded, he was always treading that disciplinary tightrope, and he was eventually sent from the field. And you wonder if Rangers had had 11 on the pitch in the second half and had reorganised in the way they did, bringing Tugay into the play, whether or not they might just have clawed something out of the game. But that's all in the land of ifs and buts and maybes. The facts tell you that Celtic have got a priceless 3 points out of the third and final SPL game before the league becomes a table of two halves in early April. And a huge psychological victory for Celtic this afternoon as well over their deadly rivals. Let's hear from the man of the match, Bobby Petta. He's talking to Chick.
Bobby, you sure do like playing against Rangers, don't you?
Well, it's, you know, haven't lost the other one 5-1, but I think I'm glad with the performance from everybody, and you know, it's a good result today.
What is the secret of your success this season? How have things turned around so well, both for you and the club?
Well, hard work yourself, and you know, I mean, just I get a chance to play, and everybody's confident, you know, and everybody works the bollocks off.
Let me be the first. I think you can say that. Well, let me be the first to say to you, or the first one to ask you this question. Do you think the championship is now won?
Well, you know, you still got you know, a lot of games to play, but you know, Rangers are the main contenders, you know, for the title, and now we've got a gap of 12 points, so it will be difficult for them to get us.
I'm sure in the background you can hear the Celtic fans singing. I'm sure there'll be a few celebrations in your dressing room tonight.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, what about the rest of the games? It's now about not getting complacent and just getting. You still have games to be won, obviously.
Yeah, we just have to be focused, you know, and play every game 100% and go in there with a 100% work rate.
Well, great performance today, Bobby. Congratulations. Thank you, Scotland, man of the match. Okay. I'm sure that champagne will be open tonight.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Aye.
Chris, that wasn't a classic match, but that wouldn't matter to you guys.
No, the main thing was the result. It was a hard fought. I thought Rangers did ever so well second half with 10 men, but the main thing was the result, and we held on well.
Did you enjoy that match?
Well, I enjoyed the result. I think me and Emmerich, you know, had to do a lot of running as on Wednesday night, and I think we felt very tired at the end. But as I say, the main thing was the result, and you know, it puts us in a good position.
It's better than a good position. It's a wonderful position for you. Do you feel now the championship has been won?
No, not by any means. I mean, when I was at Blackburn, we were well ahead with 5 or 6 games to go, and we blew up and only won it because of a result on the last day. So we've done well to put ourselves in this position, but with 12 games to go, we've still got some tough games ahead, and I don't think anybody's complacent, but we know what an important game it was today.
To be fair, Celtic do not look like a nervous side, do they?
No, I don't think we're nervous, we're confident. It wasn't a classic game today. You know, I think all the other games there have been lots of goals. But I mean, we'd have taken that before the game.
Well done, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Martin, let me be the first to ask you. I'm sure you'll be asked about 10,000 times in the next week. Has that championship been won now?
And well, you know my answer anyway, Chick. But what it does do, it gives us great confidence. It's been a fantastic week for us. Gives a great boost, and I mean, it also gives us a bit of a cushion as well too, you know. But by my reckoning, I still know that we can win another 8 games and still not be assured of winning the championship. So it's far from over. It's been terrific today, and delighted to have won the game. All credit to the players. Deserve everything they've got.
The last 2 league games we saw goals deluge, but today 1 goal. Do you always feel 1 goal would do it?
No, I didn't. I was delighted that we got the first goal, which gives us just let us settle down a bit. Thought we played terrifically first half. Second half, Rangers come into the game down to 10 players. Everything they had to go for everything. We had a chance or two to wrap it up. We could never get that second goal, and Rangers, we had one kicked off or cleared off the line. Didier cleared it off the line, but I just felt we were very strong today.
I guess that's always a danger, no matter how much possession you have in the first half, and you played so well as you said, but you need 2 goals.
We couldn't kill the game off. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was delighted with 1-0 at half time, but we just couldn't kill the game. And the longer the game went on, you knew that just Rangers were going to pour forward in numbers, and there's anything can happen. At the second goal, we had a fantastic move once where Henrik's played through and Thompson's almost come in to finish it. That would have been a fantastic goal. Didn't happen. Wasn't so good for the nerves either. But obviously delighted to have won.
Have you managed to turn this club around so quickly, Matt?
No, it's the players' attitude has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I know I've said this to you ad nauseum now. Not only am I delighted with the attitude of the players that have come in, but I'm absolutely delighted with the attitude of the players that have been here.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.